Aiko. Hey, we're live.
Hey, what's up? What up, Julio? We're
How you
here.
doing, boss? Welcome to the Nightlife Entrepreneurs Show, man.
Yes, man. We finally made it. We're here live and direct. We're gonna get a lot of people in trouble, man.
You think?
I think
I
so.
hope I'm not one of those you have in mind.
Listen, I'm telling you, people, if you have just tuned in, get ready to take your ride and to learn to make some money in the Entrepreneur Nightlife podcast. This is
Man,
exciting.
seriously, now getting a little serious. Welcome you guys to the Nightlife
Yes.
Entrepreneurship Podcast. Aiko and Julio,
Yeah, we're excited.
myself,
We're excited
are
to
very,
be
very
here.
excited to be here. And we know we are extremely gonna suck today
Yeah.
because it is our first official podcast.
Wow. Woo! We made it happen, people. We made it happen. Trust me. It's not easy.
So we're here from the Blind Pig in Miami.
Yeah.
And
We
thank
have-
you, Gustavito, by the way.
Yes.
And-
Thank you, Gustavito.
And thank you, Cusqueña, for sure. Because I needed that beer right before I started talking.
Yeah, man. It's refreshing.
So,
You feel the effervescence.
so before we waste any more of your time, let me tell you a little bit about what this podcast is going to be about.
break it down.
Right? Let's tell them what it's going to be about.
Let 'em know.
We are here to help the new entrepreneurs, nightlife entrepreneurs, people that want to get into the business, people that are between the ages of, I would even say 18 years old, which is when I started,
Yeah.
18 to 25 years, and they want to start in this business.
Buckle up.
You know, even if you're a little older per se, you know, between ages of 25 to 30, 35, it's still not too late to get into it. It's just a different way in, and you'll learn all that throughout the season.
Hey, I think one of the things that is exciting about what we're doing is that really I don't think there's even an age group. I think people that are retired, that are bored, home, sitting, and want to make some extra cash, you know, you could decide to go work at a grocery store,
Right.
kind of like, you know, packing
Nah.
bags, or you could do a little bit more, something more
You know what?
entertaining.
You know what? I have an online course, right?
Okay.
That teaches nightclub promotion, right?
Okay.
It's called Get Paid to Party. And
Get
this
paid to
course,
party, people. Get paid to party.
That's right. And it's for beginners in the industry, right? And that course, I actually have somebody who's 52 years old applied for it.
Nice.
And I told this guy, I'm like, look, you know what? I don't think at 52 years old is the right age to be a nightclub promoter. And this guy basically, you know, explained to me how he had no age. Like for him, age was not a limit.
It's
you
just
know
a
what
number.
I mean?
It's just
how
a
he
number.
felt, you know, actually 25 years old instead of 52. And this guy was recently divorced, which in this business, unfortunately, is a positive.
Yeah.
You know,
It could happen. If you know, hey, learn to play your cards right. That doesn't mean that being a nightlife entrepreneur means that, you know, you don't know how to juggle the game and keep your wife happy. I'm a true believer. Happy wife, happy life.
I agree.
So,
Agree.
So, you know, if this guy didn't make it and he's in and now he wants to get into this business, man, listen, I salute that guy. Like,
By the way, these are two happily married guys with 7 children between the two of us.
exactly.
Not
And-
together,
and
but
we-
between the two of us.
I know. Hey, not together. But yeah, that's awesome. You know, I think he whatever's making him listen. I believe that there's people that probably all their life they've wondered how to get into the business, and it's podcasts like these that help those people take that step.
Right.
Maybe that individual who's 52 years old never received the right education or the right feedback or someone
Right.
who could have told him or guided him on
Agree.
what the steps are. And this is what the show's about. This show's about the steps where you're going to listen to, you know, tips on how to get into the business, how to, you know, what are the things that we did wrong, because there's
Right.
always, you know, you live and you learn,
Plenty.
right?
There's
So
more of that than the right ones. The good
exactly.
things.
So this is a show where you're gonna, you know, we're gonna give you the do and don'ts, and believe me, there is gonna be times that you're gonna fail, but it's never a failure. It's always a positive because you learn from those mistakes.
It's a life lesson or
and
business lesson.
And you just move on.
Exactly.
So, man, this guy, whoever he is, I don't know if he's in Miami or where he is, but I'm sure he's going to be a very popular man at 52.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I
and
agree.
he's going to fulfill, you know, that gap, that, you know, whatever
Totally.
has him curious about this business, he's going to be able to fulfill it. And we hope that we could guide him the right way, and he could then send us a plane ticket, a private jet for his party, because we never know. He might own, because you mentioned that you could end up being, you could start by being a club promoter, but if you play your cards right and you do things right, you might end up being a club owner. Talk to me about
completely.
that. Right?
I mean, let me tell you a little bit about that. And I don't want to get into too much of us yet. I wanted to first start by what you guys can do and what we want you guys to get out of this.
Yes.
You know, but that is one of the things. I started when I was 17 years old as a nightclub promoter. Actually, I started throwing high school house parties. You know.
Yeah.
And then from
Hooky
those
jams.
Oh
man, those were the best.
And from there, then I started doing the nightclub parties. I started with a niche that was new, so we were kind of pioneers in that area of it. There was already some promoters, you know, and the promoter name was a big thing. It was like, wow, like everybody wanted to meet that guy, everybody wanted to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, so it was good for many reasons. You know, the social, obvious, meeting the girls or guys, depending on your
doing better on that math test the next day.
No judgment there.
Yeah. No stress.
And you know, and then there's the money. Money when you're young. You know, I'm talking about when I was probably 21 years old. I was already making like 15 grand a month, cash.
What? Did you hear that?
Didn't drive me in the right direction, of course, because it drove me to two bad marriages.
Oh, wow.
But
sorry.
But that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
So
Yo le dije.
So with this the business, I started in that. Then a club promoter. After club promoter, I became a nightclub marketing operator, and then an operations partner, and then an investor in different business. So I've owned about 10 bars, nightclubs, up to now, 23 years in the business.
So people listening to us, you know, step by step are going to learn and know the whereabouts of how to go from being a club promoter.
Well, that's one way in. Club
to
promoter is just one. I mean, you could start. I know people that have been bar backs, became bartenders, end up owning clubs. For example, Mint Lounge.
You know what's funny? Because you started at 17, you said these hooky parties, right? And you were promoting. So at 17, I was the one that found the tools for the person who was throwing the hooky party to execute the hooky party, which is funny because at the end of the day, it's kind of like what I do now, and which is why.
Tell me a little more about that.
Right? So what that means was that the promoter would say, okay, guys, so we have this concept. I'm going to promote it. I could guarantee to bring into this house 100 people, right?
Right.
What do you need to make those 100 people be happy? So what you need is, you know, you need a house.
Right.
You need a DJ. You need all those ingredients came into play, and me being a producer at a young age already kind of like, that was my drive. Like, oh man, let me find you the house. Oh man, let me find you the DJ. You know, at that age, you know, at 17, we weren't really drinking. So,
we
weren't drinking. so I had to find the orange juice, right? I had to find the right orange juice, grapefruit juice, right?
Sure.
And then after we were 21.
Now that you're saying that, one of the stories from the beginning when we started, I did it with a few friends from high school, and we'd throw a party at a house. We'd find the friend who owned the house. Okay, so that was one of the first things, which you were doing that, finding houses, and then usually it was somebody whose parents were out of town. So think Weekend at Bernie's kind of idea. You know what I mean? So you'd find that house, you would put a party together, and we'd bring probably around an excess of 300, 400 people to a house.
Yeah, poor house.
So
man.
so yeah, so I used to
still
do it
being
in
cleaned
the
as we
Pinecrest
speak.
area, so the backyards were huge. You know, so
Nice.
we had a lot of space to work with. But then we'd bring a DJ. We'd
Yeah.
promote it. We'd
DJ.
promote it as open bar, right? So you'd pay. It was a $10 or $5. I don't remember exactly what it was, but you would pay for a red soda cup. You would go in
Fruit punch.
with the red soda cup and get. Actually, we had kegs of beer. So we would promote it as unlimited kegs of beer, and you come in, pay the $10, you get the red soda cup, and that's the only way you can get your refills is if you keep your cup, right? Okay, so we'd bring 300, 400 people, and at midnight, I would call the police myself
Oh,
because
there you go. Tip number one. You
The
want to
rea-
get the people out of the party?
the reality,
cops yourself.
the reality was
Yeah, it was
we
over.
didn't have enough beer for everybody to
Yeah.
for buying all those kegs or whatever. So
Yeah.
we had actually like 2 kegs, so people would actually see, okay, they're changing the keg, but
Yeah.
it was actually from one to the second. At midnight, we'd call the cops. Everybody was able to drink probably like 2 beers, that's it. And cops would come. We were mostly underage at the time, so
Wow.
everybody ran and
Wow.
ran home, quickly. And then we'd find another home in a month, do it at a different house,
So you started with house parties,
completely.
which were very popular back in the day.
Oh yeah, it was.
And
Nowadays it's different.
Yeah, nowadays people don't, they're a lot more conservative, right?
Yeah,
There's a
yeah.
lot there. It's funny. Times have changed. I miss those parties. I miss
Yeah.
those house parties. I miss getting caught at the house parties because
Completely.
I could tell you stories about being at a house party and dancing shabba rank on top of the table and El Señor Jose just walked in on us
Oh
and
man,
I'm telling you, parents when they walk into their home and they see people hanging from the lamps and stuff like that,
you don't want to see. You don't want to be the
people jumping
the
out of
kid,
windows.
the owner of the house.
Oh no, you
For
don't want
sure.
to. You don't want to be there. But those are good times, man. Those are times.
You know what? Now that you mentioned that,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons that I thought about. Okay, we have to start something
Yes.
different. That actually drove me to writing the book. Which, by the way, here's
It's
a book.
online.
The Nightlife Entrepreneur
Yep,
is
yep.
is a book that tells you a little bit about what I've done and
Where could people find
how
that
they
book?
started. You can find it on Amazon either with
Awesome.
with my name or the name of the book, The Nightlife Entrepreneur.
Nightlife Entrepreneur. Yes.
Yeah, and it's something I encourage people to read if they want to get started in this.
Kind of like a little handbook.
Yeah, a little bit. It's actually it's more of a get you pumped to do it, understanding if it's for you and all that kind of thing.
Awesome.
But one of the reasons I thought, okay, we have to do something more than the book, more than the online course,
Yeah.
and do this podcast. The whole point is to not let nightlife die. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
believe nightlife has
Yeah.
been dying off. Things like as small as the house parties that used to happen before
Yeah.
in high school. The way that people used to go out and just everybody knew each other at a venue. Today, everybody's like this when you go out. They're like just on their
phone.
phones. They're looking at their apps. Everybody's on Facebook and Instagram and on these things that are taking all your time away. People don't even know how to talk to guys don't know how to talk to girls.
Hey guys, take her out to dance, man.
Dude,
Put the
dancing.
phone down and
There's
dance.
no dance floors on the
There's-
nightclubs anymore.
there's no
Like those
dance
things
floor.
are dying away. Like
Oh,
people
no.
dance around their table if they want to dance. Like like so many things are dying off, and it's time to rescue it.
That's
It
another
is a
topic
beautiful
that we're going
industry.
to cover, right? Because
Yeah, oh, yeah, for
that's interesting to kind of like what is technology also kind of taking away that that romance, that love story of like having the jitterbugs and asking that girl to dance, that girl refusing you to dance. Like nowadays, I wonder, like, you text a girl like, hey, you want to dance? And she replies no, and nobody knows. Is it because people are afraid that nowadays you could be on a dance floor and anyone could just videotape you and you don't
Dude,
even know, and
that's another
and then
thing,
you
yeah.
go viral as
There's so many different
as the
things.
worst dancer in history. There's a lot of things, a lot of elements, and that are.
I think the number one thing we were
nowadays-
selling before was sex.
in the
So
nightlife.
in general, yeah, people used to go out
Uh-huh.
thinking, okay, so I might get laid tonight.
Yeah.
Guys and girls, both.
I
You
might
know,
meet
girls
that-
don't say it as much.
meet the
but
one.
It's the reality. I might meet the one. I might meet the one nightstand. Either
Yeah.
way, it was.
Whatever it was.
In the end, it was that, right? And today, now they have Tinder. You know,
Yeah.
so they swipe left, they swipe right, and they
that's
got
it, it's
it
done.
covered. But what happened
Cheap.
to that whole
a cheap date.
conversation and that let me meet you and this,
Yeah.
you know, like honestly, it is a cheap date.
Yeah.
So a lot of things are dying off. That's what we want to rescue. We want to teach and show all these new entrepreneurs what it is, what it was like, how they can do it better, and also bringing people. We're gonna be interviewing people every
Yeah.
week. You know, it's
We're
not
gonna
gonna
be-
be just the two of us talking
yeah.
shit. It's gonna be somebody
Yeah.
else.
We're gonna be bringing in
always
some
with us.
great-
Real experts, real
great
people
experts,
that are in the business.
Promoters, bartenders,
Everything, owners.
you know, club security,
Exactly. Everything.
right?
From brand, security, everything.
Awesome.
Even some clients. some big
Mixologists.
clients. Mixologists, of course. We
Awesome.
need some drinks. We're probably going to have a drink every time also.
beer
But
masters.
by the way, I
Thank
really
you,
wanna be-
Cerveza Cusqueña, for being a part of this podcast today.
Yes.
We're going to bring some great beer masters here, and you know, they're going to be showing us how to also mix some drinks with beer.
Right.
So I'm excited, Julio.
Yeah, me
I'm
too,
excited
man.
about this.
Me too,
I think that you know, this is something that you that we've been doing for a long time. You've identified that it's kind of like an art that's dying. Let's put in perspective that the nightlife entrepreneurship is not something that you could only implement in the nightlife. You could also implement these strategies and these tips into other businesses,
For sure.
like the Doral Food and Wine Festival. You
By
know,
the way.
it's something that, you know, I wasn't able to get into the nightlife.
By the way, Aiko produces the
Yeah.
Doral Food and
Yeah,
Wine
so
Festival.
so I produced the Doral Food and Wine Festival. I hope everyone's there this November 10th and 11th, 2018. But that's, you know, there's tips and things that being an entrepreneur and being a promoter and being a producer kind of like all comes together. So we're not only going to give you tips on how to become a club promoter, but you could become a brunch promoter. You know, listening to this podcast is
Concerts.
going to make you, honestly, it's even going to make you, and people think it's easy. It's not easy to throw a kid's party, to throw a Sweet 16. You know, it will help you with other areas in your life to kind of be organized, how to follow up, how to be persistent. Man,
Agree.
This is like
Learning from the night, man. I
learning
love it, I
from
love
the
it.
night.
Another thing we're gonna do
Night people.
every week is we thought the fact that we have 7 children amongst the two of us,
Yes.
that there's something else that we want to throw in at the end of every episode, and it's you know, it's gonna be some tips on being a parent,
Tips for
even
dads.
though you are in this business.
Yeah.
You know, because some people think that being in this business doesn't give you the time to be a parent, and that's not right. That's not the
No,
reality. I
no,
mean,
we figure it
you
out.
got 4 kids, I got 3 kids, and it is possible.
You
know,
sometimes
and-
have to show up at the club with the baby.
Exactly. It works.
Right.
It works. I mean,
Put those
by the way,
earplugs on him and just
my eldest,
slip
who's
in and
4
out.
years old, he's already telling me, he's like, Daddy, I want to go to Blue Martini this Thursday, and
Yeah.
things like that. Like
I'm telling you, they're part of the lifestyle. They see, they know. I'm telling you, kids are very smart. But yes, I believe that this is also a very good channel where people could ask us questions and know.
and
Hey, how is it that, listen, at the end of the day, this is what I think. If you came home empty-handed every weekend after, throwing nightlife parties, and your wife is seeing that nothing is happening, then I believe that's one of the key factors you got to secure, right? You got to make sure
Right.
you're bringing home the bacon. If you're bringing home the bacon and you're taking your wife out over the weekend saying, hey, Thursday night was a great night at Blue Martini, and, she's seeing that things financially are looking right, then that's a good tip. That's already,
Of course.
they're going to be happy.
Right.
Happy wife, happy life. I'm
Right.
telling you.
Which, by the way, the whole point of this business is, and podcast in the end, is to teach work-life balance.
Work
In
life
the end,
balance.
it's
Exactly.
work-life balance. That is what people want,
Exactly.
and that is what this business gives you. Work-life
Success.
balance for sure.
Success and a peace of mind, right?
Peace of mind. I agree.
Listen, it's doable. It's doable. Now, those who are single, divorced, oh man, I'm telling you, buckle up. You're gonna have some fun.
They do have it easier, but in the end, it's not hard to do. It takes more work when you're in a relationship, in a serious one. If you have children, of course, it is harder, but it is not impossible. You know.
Listen, is it a career?
Oh, for sure. I mean, and that's a whole episode. Is it a hobby or a career?
Uh-huh.
And I mean, my belief is that it's. I've been doing it 23 years. Is it a career? Fuck
Exactly.
yeah, it's a career. You know, I mean, anything that pays you 6 figures from the first year on, it is a freaking career.
And
you know?
that makes you think, right? Because you know you have these kids that go to college, which is not bad. Go to college, go to school, because you know education, knowledge is power. But
Go to class. You can go to some clubs.
But sometimes I know, sometimes it takes for you to get your feet wet, get into the business, get into the grind, fall down, get back up, learn from your mistakes, and then just continue moving on and persistent, right? It's all about persistent.
Agree.
Right?
100%.
How do you feel about the way you used to promote parties and clubs, you know, 20 years ago till now? You know, don't people now have it easier? You know, because back in the days, for you to promote a party, it was a lot of footwork,
Well,
right?
back in the day, it used to be that 3 of us would have 1,500 people at one place.
Imagine.
Nowadays, you need 30 people to bring 400 people to one place.
Wow.
So it is not easier. It's not working. What people think that the whole social media thing works for the nightlife, it doesn't. This is a personal thing.
Okay.
If I post on my Instagram account the fact that I'm going to be at a certain club tonight, that doesn't make you go. It'll tell you that I'm there, but it doesn't make you go.
Got it.
If I text you, you might think about it. If I call you, you most likely will be there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's more
So it's
more of a personal thing.
It's more of a personal
and that's
thing
what's
now.
being lost
Is
with
that
the new
new?
promoters.
Exactly.
No, it's
Is
not
that-
new. That's a very old school
That's-
thing.
that's the way
that
it
is not
is.
happening. That's the way it should be.
Got
but it's
it.
not happening. So, how about we have a beer, man? All right. So
Okay, so hey,
I definitely do
that
want
was a
one, right?
Cusqueña moment. Cusqueña break. We had a
Mini break.
Cusqueña break.
Yeah, I needed
And
to go.
hey, you've tried Cusqueña before?
Yes, I have.
Listen, man,
Yes, I
Cusqueña,
have,
Let
man.
me tell you, this
I'm
beer
excited right now.
is doing really good. You know what's funny? Another episode. We're gonna talk about beer pouring. Okay, that
I was just gonna say you had to teach me.
That
bro.
was a
That's your
very
thing.
bad one, and but it's cool. Hey, Cusqueña.
23 years in the business, and I do not know how to pour beer,
Yeah, can you believe that? I'm telling you.
but I do know
Hey.
how to drink it.
Hey, that's what's important. So
yeah.
Cusqueña, thank you for being a part of our first podcast, and you know
That's
we,
pretty
we salute you. You know, this is a premium lager beer that's here in the market in Miami. They're doing great, and we're happy to have them with
Definitely,
us.
definitely. Hey, by the way, let's tell them where they can find us and our Instagram accounts. What's yours, by the way?
So my Instagram, you could follow me at Ico Taps Beer. That's ICOTAPS Beer, and that's my Instagram, and Facebook is Ico Manzanero, ICO Manzanero's MANZANERO.
Okay. So my Facebook is Julio Mario Zambrano, the whole name, very easy, very long. And my
They'll see it on
it'll
the,
probably be down there.
Yeah.
And my Instagram is the Nightlife Entrepreneur with spaces in between. The Nightlife Entrepreneur. And yeah, like I said, the book, you know where to find it on Amazon.
Yep.
And we have the website nightlifeentrepreneurs.com also, where
the
you're going to be
website.
finding different stuff.
If you
about
have any
the podcast.
questions, write to us.
You're going to find us on iTunes. You're going to find us on Podomatic and
everywhere. You're gonna get sick of us.
Twitter.
Twitter.
is almost there.
We're
It's
almost
not
there.
yet, but it'll
you
probably
know,
be Nightlife Entrepreneurs.
Twitter,
podcast also.
Facebook, Instagram. At your local parties, look out for us.
So,
We're
yeah.
gonna be there. Look out for our parties.
Hey,
You know,
next
we're
week
gonna-
we have an awesome guest.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name. Is a GM great GM, a lot of history here in Miami.
A lot of history.
And we'll be glad to,
this guy knows.
interview him for sure.
Yeah. I'm excited about him. When I found out that he was coming here.
Neither one of us liked him when he met him. We love that guy
well,
now. So
you know what? It's funny you say that. And this is interesting that he's gonna be here because I'm gonna ask him. But it's almost like a persona you need to kind of master,
understand,
and kind of like live by. It's almost like a code you got to live by, because
for sure
he's the GM.
So let's not tell him more, and let's just,
all right.
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in.
See you all next week.
We'll see you later, man.
Take care.
Thank you,
Peace
boss.
and love.